Welcome back to Heartbook Radio, folks, where we dissect the books that somehow made it past the gatekeepers, unlike my meticulously crafted, emotionally resonant masterpiece, Whispers of the Existential Turnip. But, hey, who needs nuance when you can have cowboys?
Cowboys, right? Are you sure this isn't some kind of recruitment tactic? Because the last time someone offered me a new beginning in a small town, it involved chanting and mandatory goat sacrifices.
Relax, Brenda. It's Rustler Mountain by Maisey Yates. Think less ritualistic livestock abuse and more feuding families and historical reenactments. Though knowing my luck, there's probably a goat involved somewhere.
A feuding families? That sounds intense. Is there a charismatic leader figure, someone promising salvation through, I don't know. Historically accurate butter churning.
Not quite. It's set in this town, Rustler Mountain, Oregon, where everyone's obsessed with their Wild West ancestors. We've got the Wilders, descendants of an outlaw, and the Talbots, whose ancestor was the sheriff, who shot him, and of course the modern-day descendants are entangled.
Entangled like bound together by invisible threads of fate, woven by a cosmic...
No, Brenda, entangled like they're forced to work together to plan the town's Gold Rush Days festival, Millie Talbot. The good girl librarian needs Austin Wilder's help. He's the bad boy supposedly carrying on the family outlaw tradition.
Bad boy, is that code for something? Does he have hidden knowledge? Does he offer enlightenment through denim?
He wears jeans, Brenda. That's about as deep as it gets, but according to some, this Austin Wilder character's actually quite the complex fellow, tired of being judged by his last name. He's even writing a book to clear his family's name.
A book? Is it a sacred text? Does it contain the secrets to escaping the confines of societal expectations?
It's more of a historical revision, apparently. He thinks his ancestor was framed. Millie, meanwhile, is dealing with the fallout of her ex-fiancé's betrayal and trying to live up to her family's good reputation.
Betrayal, a classic manipulation tactic. Are we sure this Millie isn't being groomed? By the town, by history itself.
The reviews, and I use that term loosely considering some of the dreck I've seen praised, suggest it's more about them both, realizing that history might be a bit skewed. One reviewer said the best part was the pining, so I guess there is some love elements.
The distortion of truth, a common tool of those who seek to control weight pining. Is that a ritual? Do they sit around a pine tree and confess their suppressed desires?
No, it's just romantic longing, Brenda. Apparently this Austin guy is obsessed with Millie. Touching her, kissing her, looking at her, the usual.
Obsessed? That sounds unhealthy, like he's trying to absorb her essence. Is he a psychic vampire?
Look, the book's not perfect. Some readers found the characters a bit flawed, and there was criticism that the chemistry between Millie and Austin, quote-unquote, lacked.
Blood, that's promising perfection, is an illusion, a tool of the...
I think underneath all the cowboy hats and historical baggage, it's a story about people trying to break free from the roles they've been assigned. Millie's the good girl who's never lived up to expectations, and Austin's the bad boy who's more than just his last name. It's like, are the Wilders really bad guys, or has history been unfair? It's supposed to be addictive, so I doubt it goes that deep.
Breaking free, yes. Shedding the skin of conformity to reveal the authentic self. But is it authentic or just another layer of the performance?
One person described Millie as indecisive wanting, and a little bit lost, which frankly sounds more interesting than mousy librarian. Apparently, she gets her spark throughout the book.
Spark, is that enlightenment? Does she achieve a higher state of consciousness through historical reenactments?
I think it's just a metaphor, Brenda, but the consensus seems to be that it is well-written. Words like emotional, sweet, and addictive were used. And surprisingly, several reviews raved about the ending.
The ending, does it involve transcendence, a mass exodus from the town? A collective rejection of family names?
Apparently, it made one reviewer cry so much, they ran out of tissues. So maybe it's just emotionally satisfying. And it sets up the next book, which focuses on Austin's siblings.
Siblings a whole network of potential rebels, or are they enforcers of the established order?
I guess we'll have to wait and see, but for now, Rustler Mountain seems to be a decent, albeit somewhat predictable, small-town romance with a historical twist. It's not exactly whispers of the existential turnip, but it might be worth a read if you're into cowboys feuding families and maybe a little bit of goat-free personal growth.
I'll remain skeptical, but I'll add it to my list. Just in case it contains hidden truths, that's all from Heart Book Radio.